Congress committee had like a
Okay.
he's going to be in and out, change activity, program. We got it covered.
It had to do with decorations.
Oh,
And
Veterans Committee.
Rich had a suggestion about having, I guess you guys decorate for the November.
Steve already spoke to Gilly, and they do not want our decorations from Social Dance left out. That's all I can tell you.
You know, say 2 words. Last year they put the decorations up for the committee. It was terrible. It was terrible.
I don't
But
know.
they had some flags.
When
The lady hanging it, it was her first time ever.
Talk to Gil.
Yeah, Rich, because what happened was Social Dance gave them
I know, but to me it's for one thing. It's for the people that live here, not for us.
I don't have a problem leaving them up and taking them down another day, but I'm not overstepping boundaries. And Steve called Billy to check. They were doing a donation because Rob was out of town. He reiterated with them again, would you like us to leave our decorations up for your events? No, we spent $600 last year on decorations. We're going to take care of ourselves.
I took a picture of the $600 worth.
That was the year before.
Last year, because it was disgusting in the office.
No, you gave me money for
I
decorations.
gave the lady the money, I can't remember her name. $238.
I
They got all the
get up here this early in the
They
morning.
got all the but here's the thing, are you on the Veterans Committee? Okay, so let Gil take care of it. Yeah, you cook hot dog, and he puts up decorations.
No, but we did offer it. Again, we.
Oh, yeah.
I want it to look good.
Patrona has a.
But he's got to, Gil said his committee's
But
gonna
he
put him
said
up
he's
Friday.
got.
I don't know if that's in Jim's budget.
They have their decorations. So, that's all I can tell you, Rich. Steve was on the phone with me. He was on the
I
phone.
just don't like answering my emails.
Because I wanted to see you in person and I wanted to give you. I know, everything's gone again.
How's your birdie? Don't answer. You gonna fight? Did you cook it for dinner yet? Take a roll. I'm sorry? Did you cook it for dinner yet? Not quite, not yet.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll look good on the camera.
He started
Line
coming
up on
after
one
me and I
side.
said,
I know, should we just line up? I mean,
I said, he's going.
do you want us to push closer?
No, we were gonna actually go to the last row.
that works. You see me yelling.
No.
Well, we can each line up so it would look better on camera.
Oh, yeah, one person, one
He
person.
still bites men, which is okay with me, I don't really care. Don't bite me. What kind of bird is it? Self-repressing cockroach. Oh, he's beautiful. Yes, he gets fresh.
I can try calling back. I'll
I wanted to let you know, I drove by vacant nursing home facility over here, and I guess these are using it as a training place. There was never a car sitting outside for the past 2 years. Facility, the nursing home, where the mattresses are all outside, so they've been in there around there. I don't know if they're doing like training inside. No, maybe they're tearing it down for it. It was
Oh, I see him now.
Didn't see you over there. Did you handle everything for the 20 days I was gone? I went to Illinois for 10 days and then came back to New York for 10 days. It's a good time. Everything cool? See what you done, we done. Yeah. Okay. Still got my guys coming. Okay, that bingo night. Four of us. Look at the videos all.
Hey, Lucy. Hi. Oh, Michelle. Hi. How you feeling? You have to go.
Things must not be going well.
All right, everybody, we're gonna get started with our little group. I'll call the meeting to order.
Would it be Vivian Blair?
Thank you. He's gonna close, oh, thank you. We'll just wait for the door to get shut. Is there anybody taping? Val's not here, so.
Thank you, young lady.
So we'll stand and have a moment of silence in the Pledge of Allegiance. And tonight, with the tragedy that has happened in Maine, let's keep all our families who are up there and know somebody in Maine in our prayers. It's a terrible tragedy, and for everything else that's happening around the world. So we'll pray. So thank you everybody for coming, and our YouTube people also. I just wanted to say the reason why we decided to have an extra meeting is because we know we had some technical issues with the YouTube last month. And with this being so close to the ballot and things like that, we wanted to give people an extra opportunity to just ask questions. So there's two things on the agenda tonight. And last month, if you remember, we had, the last meeting, we had opened up the bids for the guard shack doors, the new doors. And that was gonna have to wait to get approval until our next board meeting. But since we were gonna have this board meeting here, we put that on the agenda for tonight. So there's just two things on the agenda. One is the approval for us to put brand new doors on the guardhouse, and then for any questions regarding what's on the ballot, if people have concerns about it or things like that, anything like that, we just wanted to give an extra opportunity to do that. So first thing we're going to start out with is the guardhouse. And if you know, we had 3 bids that came in. One bid had come in after the agenda was already done. So that's one of the reasons why we couldn't vote on them. One was from Hernando Aluminum, and that came in at $5,130. And that also included them to pull the permits from the county. The other bid came in from Mid-State Glass of Citrus County. That came in at $5,647, but we would have to pull our own permits. That did not include permits. And the other bid that came in was from Tropical Window Inc., and that was $5,700. So, I'm sorry. Oh, 86. Holy cow. 57, yeah, 8,600, they want a $2,900 deposit with a balance due of $5,700, $8,600. So I'd like to make, is there any discussion, a motion to accept Hernando Aluminum at $5,130. Do I have a second? Second. Do I have a discussion? Anybody want to say? No? I think, does anybody have any comments about it? We liked Hernando Aluminum. They had a good track record. They do good work. We've spoke with them several times. They came out, they looked, they know the scope of the work.
They know what we're trying to get done, why we want it done, and they're gonna go ahead and, especially, they're gonna pull the permits. We do understand from them that in case there's anything, just so that you all know how the doors are set up in the guardhouse. So there's actually 2 doors. There's 2 sliding glass doors. One, the old original one, is actually screwed in, so you cannot get it out. We don't know really what's behind there, if there's water damage or anything like that. So we do understand there may be some more costs involved to get it fixed and repaired correctly. But if you could see the doors that they have right now, it's pretty bad.
Is there a warranty?
There is a warranty. They had told us there is a warranty on the doors itself. They did not put it on here, but there is a warranty on the doors itself, and I believe that was going to be 2-year warranty on that one. The other 2, just so that you know, Mid-State, they wanted us to pull our own permits, and we can't do that. And Tropical Window was $8,600. But Hernando Aluminum has a very good reputation, so we feel that it's a good way to go and to get them replaced and pulled out of there. So, anybody? No? Okay, do I have a vote? Oh, sorry. Rich, you gotta stand up. I got yelled at. I got scolded by Arlene.
Make it simple, okay?
Okay, and we need your unit number.
Rich Stratton, Unit 3. Can we call the company to make sure whoever comes out here, they're W-2'd? W-2. We don't have a guy that hired last week just to fill a spot. He's got to be W-2'd, so he knows what he's doing. He's not a guy off the street that hired just to fill the void. He was given a W-2 by the company. We pay them, they pay the employees. Okay, W-2. Just like we pay, you have a job, they get a W-2 at the end of the year, right? That's all I'm asking. So we don't have somebody off the street that's filling a hole. He's been there for 8 hours. Does he know about doors? No, he just, whatever. Business, that's business.
Okay, that's a good point, Rich. Thanks. And we can definitely ask that question. Do I have a vote on this? All in favor to hire Hernando Aluminum at $5,130 for the new guard shack doors, say aye. Aye. Unanimous. Rich, did you want to say something else?
No, he left something.
Oh, he left, oh, okay, I'm sorry, okay. The only other thing that we had on the agenda tonight was if there was any questions pertaining, or comments pertaining to what's on the ballot. And we would like to hear, is there anybody on the YouTube mic? Not yet? Okay.
We've got people on, but no
But
questions.
nobody, okay, all right. So we just wanted to kind of have a make-up meeting so we could answer any questions that are on the ballot, if anybody has any questions or concerns. Before we get to that, Patrona, did you want to tell them the good news that we have on the check?
Jim should do this.
Okay.
He's
Jim,
the
do
one
you
who
want to tell
brought it
them the
to
good
us.
news?
This is what you brought to us. You share it.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Pass the ball.
A couple days ago, we received a check for $899, and this came from American Trust North America, Inc. That's the company that does our workman's comp, and they gave us we're pleased to present you with the enclosed dividend check of $899, and it's for your effort in providing a safe workplace. So that means we didn't have any major accidents, major workplace incidences, and because of that, we had an $899 refund, and it went into our operating fund. So it's just it's a tribute to our employees. It's nice of me to get up and stand, but at the end of the day is all of our employees did this work. So we appreciate that. If you could pass that along to all the employees, that'd be super. Thanks.
All right, we'll just open up the floor for discussion on, Lucy, do you want to come up?
Lucille DeGuire, Unit 4. I've had many different people tell me that, many different people at different times, they got caught up with the fact that if we approve a fee for the RV compound, it's going to get out of sync. It's going to get incredibly more expensive every year because they think there should be a set amount. And that's the end of it. And that will be it every year, instead of whoever's on the board will decide every year if they need more money, if they need less. I guess it's a matter of trust. They don't think they could trust people on the board. And I'm not speaking about you guys. But you know, the other times before and the times ahead, they have so much concern that they're saying they're not going to vote for it. And I just wanted your take on it. Thank you.
Yeah, if I can answer that, Lucille. I can understand the concern. The reality is you cannot set, for example, a fee of $100 for the RV compound. We're going to have a $100 fee every year, every year, every year. The reality is we're not going to spend $100. Let me give you some real numbers, which I actually happen to have. So far, we've spent $5,300 for the RV compound. They've taken in donations of $2,000. So you can see that the donations haven't equaled the expenditures, but to take those expenditures of $53, let's make it a little higher. Let's make it $6,200 just for easy math. What that means is for $20 a person, times 260 people, that would be roughly $6,200. So if we were going to spend $6,200, which I do not believe we would spend unless we did some major paving, so if it was below $6,200, the fee for next year would be $20 or less. And then at this point we have $7,300 in the budget that they have already there for the RV compound. The reality is for '24, we may not need any money. So if I set something up and said, well, there's going to be a fee of $100, that would be $100 more than it needed to be. The residents have to have some trust and some faith. We write a budget of over $1.7 million for the association, and that's where the $50 comes in for each homeowner's assessment fee each month. We go through a process to do that. The RV compound is no different. You just have fewer expenses. So if you have expenses of $2,600, you only need $10 a year, $10 a year to cover that $2,600 expense. So the expense, you make an estimate on what the expense is, you allow for a little extra or for unknown, and then that's what you set the number at. If you had a $2,600 expense, we said the fee was going to be $150, well, there's no math to support that. And it's very easy for, if you're transparent, it's very easy for the residents to say, that's just plain wrong. So, please.
Okay, I guess what they were getting at, and I can understand their feelings, is that many people in here, but I can't qualify it as 10%, 100%, many people have felt that the money used for other things were not needed or were ill spent. And so the trust has to be built. They have to trust people to do the right thing. So, and what you're telling me is that basically it's going to be on black and white what the expenses for the RV compound will be per year so they can see, and there won't be any overblown amount being demanded of them if they are part of the RV compound.
That's correct. And one thing about the RV compound, the expenses that we've had are all presented to us as the board members from the RV committee. So it's not like, I didn't make the decision to put down $1,000 worth of gravel. Gil and his committee did that. Then they went and they got another load of gravel and put that in another spot. Those were decisions made by the RV committee, and they brought them to us, and those were covered. So in this case, an RV expense is going to have some outside committee saying you should pay this money for this expense, and then we're going to agree or not agree to that. So there's always that second, it's like a second or safety net where you're not making bad decisions. And what I'd like to say, I believe this board, and again, I don't want to look back at other boards, but this board looks at every expense. I look at every single expense. When I sign a check, I know exactly what it's for to the penny. And if we don't have the backup, we're not paying that bill. So, and they have to make sense. So we won't know till the end of the year how did the year work out, but I think the proof will be in the pudding at the end of the year.
And you are using the donated funds first before you begin to say we need more money than what was donated in the past, because there'll be no more donations after this if it's passed?
There still could be donations, people could donate anytime they want, but there wouldn't be the need for it. You wouldn't have the necessity to have a donation, but you'd have the ability to accept donations if they wanted to spend it on some, maybe additional paving or additional gravel or some amenity for that.
Okay, because I also know that taxes are paid for that part of the land, other things are taken care of, like code enforcement goes in and checks it out so many times. How do you put a monetary amount on those things?
That would just have to be an estimate, and the RV committee would have to be involved with that, just like they've made a commitment to pay, I believe it's $825 for mowing this year. They made that. They gave us that number and we agreed with it, and that's what they're reimbursing to us. So there has to be a give and take between the RV committee and the board.
Yes, I know it's a standing committee, so it's nothing that will be dissolved.
No, as far as I would understand, if we don't have a committee, it simply won't work. There has to be a committee.
Okay, thank you.
I don't believe it's optional.
Mary, did you? That would be the only thing we would accept from you. Yes.
Mary Story, Unit 6. Jim, you said, and I might have misunderstood you, but you said possibly looking at the overall for the RV in 2024, there may be no expenses.
There may be no need for additional fees from the RV owners because there's $7,386 available for expenses for 24.
Okay, how can the RV compound estimate what their liability insurance is on that property, what their taxes are? They do not have a separate meter for their electric. So they're giving you figures that they're basically just judging, but that does not fully compensate for everything Brookridge is covering. We're covering a girl in the office to work with Gilly. Lucy said code enforcement. So there are other expenses that I think really need to be taken into consideration just besides the list that Gilly is giving you from the RV committee as to what their expenses are.
In my mind, there are two types of expenses, hard and soft. The hard is the lights, hard is the electric, hard is the gravel that we had. Soft are what you had mentioned, insurance, liability, code enforcement, salaries. And the only way to do that effectively, in my humble opinion, is that the RV compound and the finance committee get together and make those estimates with good faith numbers. For example, we spend $7,000 for lights for the lighting for the community every month. We should be able to say that the RV compound, for example, is $400 a month for the lights that we run there, or $200, or whatever the right number is. And it should be a consensus. The RV compound thinks it's this number, we agree or disagree, and this is why.
Okay, if you're going to confer with the finance committee as to what the expenses might be and just go from there, I can see it, because I can't see just taking it by what the RV is giving us, because they're not, to me, looking at the full picture of everything.
Well, and the beauty with involving the finance committee and the RV committee, you have a lot of very intelligent people, and you're on the finance committee. We have some very bright people in that finance committee. I'm very confident that we'll come up with reasonable numbers, and it can only be reasonable. It's a guess. At the end of the day, we're saying the utilities are going to cost $700. Well, maybe it was $650 or $702. We can only get close.
Oh, it's the same as you're gonna do with your regular budget. It's an estimation. There's no question about it. But as long as these other things are being taken into consideration besides what they're saying their expenditures were, that's good.
And again, it has to all be agreed in there. It has to be a consensus, or it doesn't work. I mean, it's that simple.
Okay, thank you.
It doesn't work effectively.
And I think just to say something regarding the Finance Committee. The Finance Committee is so very important, and that is why we wanted what I call a full-time Finance Committee, because that goes to the check and the balances. It keeps everybody, you know, being transparent, telling people where the money is. They see everything. They see the statements that come in. They see it all. So it's very important, I believe, to have like Mary, Linda, and the rest, and Paul, the regular people like everybody else sitting up there, checking the statements that come in, asking where things are, and it keeps everybody on the same page. And that's one thing that we are really grateful for, because they bring a talent to the table that, I'm sorry, I can't sit there and look at numbers all day. I would just go, you're right. But that's their talent, and that's why we really appreciate them being on that Finance Committee and helping Jim. Yeah. Is there any, oh, a YouTube question? Okay.
Okay, Jerry Kraft, Unit 1, it's a two-part question. This meeting should not be to sway people's votes. I thought it was to clarify what's on the ballots. Fees are not on the ballots.
This is not a meeting to sway people's votes at all. This was to have a meeting because we had so many problems with technology at our last meeting. We just wanted to have an open forum, an open discussion if people had any questions. We don't sway people's votes. We give you the ballot. If you have a question, we're here to answer it. But it's up to you on how you feel. If you say yay, it's yay. If you say nay, it's nay. But we were just trying to do our best to be transparent, to be honest, and to do the right thing for the community by saying, hey, this happened with the YouTube, with the technology, and to say, hey, we're just going to have this open forum and answer any questions people may have regarding it, because it's so close to the election. By no means do we sway people's votes.
And Mike, we want everyone to know that we want the residents to vote. Whatever that vote is, yes or no, we want the residents to vote, and they're the ones that are making the determination. The board isn't deciding this issue, the members are. And that's the way it should be.
Okay, Anthony Lagone, Unit 3. My question to the board is, I do understand that there are only so many spots in the RV compound and only so many people use the compound, but what about the pool? Only so many people go swimming. The last time I checked, the pool holds 35 people, and we have roughly 4,000 residents, so if there's 35 people in the pool, number 36 has to go home. And what about the people who do not use the pool at all? They're still paying HOEs for the bleeping pool.
I guess, Mike, if I can answer that, and it was Anthony who asked the question. The only thing I would say to Anthony is, first of all, there are 262 or so spots for the RV compound. Those are blocked for an entire year, 24/7, every single day, every single minute. The pool isn't that way. You want to go to the pool, you go to the pool, you stay there for an hour, then you leave. He's correct that there can only be, and if the number's 35, we'll go with it, there can only be 35 in the pool at one time. But I can tell you that Mr. Smith or Mr. Jones isn't going to the pool 24/7, 365, and sitting there and getting sunburned into a little baked potato. We're just not doing that. I get that it's an amenity. The difference is, one is the RV compound, you're locked into only a certain number of positions, and they block it for the entire year, even when they're, excuse me, even if they're traveling, they go on vacation, they block that spot for the entire year. That's not true of the pool. That's where the difference is.
And not everybody can use the RV. You only have so many spots, so therefore, underneath the classification of an amenity, that is not under the law of an amenity because it's not open to everybody.
What was the second part to Jerry's question? You said it was a two-part question? No, it was the first one.
Her second part was, this is no fees listed. This is like signing a blank check, no guidelines in writing.
Well, certainly there could be guidelines if that was an appropriate way. The guidelines to me would be pretty much this simple. We estimate you're going to have this number of expenses in the calendar year 2024, $2,600. There's 260 spots, so that would mean there'd be a $10 per year fee for that based on that. It would really be, in my mind, it's really that simple. You have an estimated expense, you need to have the revenue to offset that. Whether it's 2,600, 26 million, 26 billion, whatever the number is.
New question came in. Thomas Fryman, Unit 2. The compound land is owned by BCPO and liability and taxes are the same and not specific to the compound. These expenses should be the same if it were simply a parking lot.
I would have to get an insurance expert to give us, well, first of all, for the insurance piece of it, we'd have to involve the insurance carrier that we have and the agent to help us get a reasonable estimate. And I would disagree that the liability is the same in the RV compound as it would be, for example, in the admin lot. Or the swimming pool probably is the highest one because of the greatest risk. Drowning and so forth, electrocution.
Why, in the past, the RV compound did its own thing, and the board never got involved? Why do we get involved now?
I guess to answer that question, I initially wanted this to be a vote for the people to decide, because, and the reason for that is, I heard from numerous residents when I ran for the board, when I asked the question, what's broken here? What needs to be fixed? What would you like to see done differently? How can I make this a better community? And time again, the RV compound got brought up because only so few people can use it, and there was a significant expense to that. And if we pave it, there's going to be a very significant expense. So that's how it initially got brought up. I like the fact that we're putting it to the members, and we're letting the members decide. Go ahead, Rich.
Question, I'm from the old school. What does RV represent? What's the word R?
Recreational vehicle.
V is a vehicle. So why do we have trailers over there, car trailers? Why don't we have regular storage trailers over there? They are not RVs. As Lucy mentioned, I heard people talking about stuff. I had people asking me, why are there vehicles over there that are not RVs? You cannot go into a cargo van and recreational vehicle. If you do, it's got to be a tent in there and sleeping bags. That's an RV. So do we clarify that? I mean, I'm looking at reality. I got people here telling me they pay $200 to store something outside because they can't do it. They got a guy with a trailer in there. Just asking the question, why is it just called an RV? No,
Rich, I don't have a great answer for you.
I don't have a great answer. Maybe Gil might have an answer.
I don't care.
Right.
It's for the people that can't get in there.
Right.
Right. And I talk to these people out the men's club and whatever, and the guy comes.
I don't believe he has a wait list right now. I believe
It's very tight.
it's very small, the wait list. And I do know that there's a couple of people coming out of there in January. So I think at that, there wouldn't be a wait list at that time. Dick, did you want to say something about Veterans Day? Yeah? I know.
10 of diamonds.
They use a mic.
3 of clubs.
Real quick, Saturday the 11th, for the I'm sorry, Dick Terrio, Unit 3. For the 2 years ago, Gil had asked me to help with the program for the Veterans Day and Memorial Day. And we kind of took it over. So I think this will be my 5th one. Maybe everybody's getting ready to see a new MC. But this Saturday the 11th, which is Veterans Day, we put on a hell of a program. We got nice guest speakers. We got the VFW, we got Marine Corps League, others. We got a local retired lieutenant commander, Navy, going to speak. We usually honor somebody. Debbie's going to join us. We're going to have a congressperson here, a congressman here. So we have donuts and, we got to check on this. We have donuts and coffee at 8 o'clock, or we're supposed to. I'll get together with Gil and Rich. Donuts, chips, coffee. I run usually about 3 or 4 videos. You'll enjoy the videos. So please, the 11th, 8 o'clock donuts, 9 o'clock show starts outside and inside. ROTC kids are here. I'm done.
Is there, thanks, Dick. Well, I'll be there.
I'll be there.
Okay. Do you want,
Does it have to be about the budget or bring something else up? It has to do with the guardhouse. You talked about the guardhouse.
oh, the guardhouse?
Yeah, so then technically.
Yeah, because the guardhouse we had on the agenda.
King of spades.
Mary Story Unit 6. Back at the May or June workshop, I had asked you guys if you would consider putting in a panic button into the guardhouse. After the devastation that went on at High Point, and it's only by the grace of God that a resident came in there and found him in time, well, not in time, I mean, but was able to get the police over there the way they had. If that resident hadn't driven in there, that guy could have been wandering around that development, God only knows doing what. So I think it's time that we actually take action and protect our guards. They're not only our employees, they're our residents. Please, let's put a panic button in there. To pick up a cell phone and try to dial 911, it takes quite a bit of time. To go like this under a counter and knowing it's going directly to the police, I think it's worth the investment. We need to protect them, we need to make them safe. So I'm going to ask you to please take action on this and definitely consider doing this as long as it's within range of the budget. But I think they really need more protection than right now they have. I mean, I'd still like us to put a second guard on at night, but I'm not going to push it. But at least give them something that they could, you know, get the police there, 1, 2, 3. I really think it's a good investment. Thank you.
We actually have hired a new, computer person, Greg, who is also in charge of our gates. So we know he is coming in to start looking at revamping a lot of our technology that we have. And I believe he's audited a lot of stuff already. And that will be definitely something I will definitely bring up to him and see what we can do. But I definitely will bring it up.
I just think they need
Right.
protection.
And we have brought stuff up to him, but we entered a contract with our current computer people, and he has taken over, or will be as of November 1st. So, that's something definitely will be brought up, for sure.
I do have a question that came in about a week ago. The question is, can residents vote online? That's part one. Part two is, what's the process to do so? And I'd like to ask Arlene, maybe if she'd take 30 seconds to give us the highlights.
So, just as a reminder, Arlene Aaron, General Manager. Just as a reminder, of course, vote if you haven't yet. Paper ballot, drop it off at the office. If you need one, come in and get one. Some people hold snowbirds, went up there, they're here. You can vote online as well. The last day to vote is November 13th, which is Monday. If you wish to vote online, all you need to do is call the office. We will give you the information to the gentleman. His name is Brett, and he sets up the person in the system that we have. It's through Becker Ballot, our attorney Becker, so it's through Becker Ballot. So we have his information, name, email, phone number, and if you need, just call and we can give you his information. You call him, I think it's just like signing up for any other account. He sends you a link, hey, welcome. You click on the link, you put in your name, address, I believe UBL, password, and then he sends you a link back, and there's the ballot. It shows up right online, just like as if you had paper. So if anybody does need to, just call the office and we'll be happy to give you the information.
I use that. Where's that?
Does anybody else have any other questions? Mary?
Do you just want to sit over there? Would that be easier? Okay.
Mary Story, Unit 6. Do you have a nominating committee in place yet?
No, we don't.
According to our bylaws, it needs to have been done last Wednesday.
We realize that. We are...
Okay.
Yes.
All right, and then my one last question is, and are you opening, because the only place I've seen has been no mention that you're taking resumes for positions on the board, except in News and Views. It wasn't mentioned last Wednesday. And how many vacancies are there going to be on the board?
As a board, we are going to decide that. We have talked about it between ourselves, but we do not know at this time if we're going to fill the other 2 seats.
Okay, because normally when you put it out there that there's resumes, the residents are aware of how many seats are going to be filled.
Right. We believe at this time the only 2 that are going to come up will be for Millie and for George.
Okay, so you are accepting resumes at this time?
We're going to go ahead and put that out.
Okay, because it's in the News and Views.
Right, yes.
Okay, and the deadline is like a week away almost.
Right.
Okay. The other question I have here in News and Views, the Patrona, and maybe you can clarify this for me. Under 24th Annual Membership Meeting, it says topics will be placed on the agenda for the annual membership meeting to be held on Wednesday, October 18th in 2023.
Unfortunately, that was just worded incorrectly.
Okay.
It was supposed to be the meeting that we had last month. That's when, if you wanted to have something on the agenda, you should submit it by that night.
Okay, very good. That kind of clarifies the confusion on, because it just couldn't.
Right.
But, okay. Thank you.
Do you have any more?
I promise so.
Okay. Because if so, I'm going to make you sit over there.
Okay.
Okay.
As long as you're not putting me in the corner.
Does anybody else have any other questions? Did you, Tracy? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Thanks.
No problem. Again, from Tom Fryman, Unit 2. Each individual in the compound has their own liability insurance, so insurance is not an issue. And his second part is the RV compound is part of the reserve funding and any significant need is already covered.
Can you repeat that last sentence, Mike?
The last sentence, the RV compound is part of the reserve funding and any significant need is already covered.
I don't believe that's accurate. In the first one, There's liability coverage, just like if you parked in the RV compound, you're in the RV compound, you're at the clubhouse, you're at the admin building, on any community property, there's insurance that we're paying a liability on that. Whether you have insurance or not for your RV or your trailer or whatever you have, you can have collision, you can have comprehensive, you can have liability, or any combination. We can't dictate if someone had it, do they still have it, are they going to keep having it? We only control the liability piece.
Also, a question from Mark Kate, Unit 2. Should give the employees a gift card for the workers' comp bonus check. They should give the employees a gift card for the workers' comp bonus check. I think he's thinking.
Workers' compensation?
Yeah.
Give a gift card from the money that they got back.
We already actually gave a bonus out in July, so, right, at this time, and we also have the holidays coming up where we're going to be giving things to, and right, and we also, starting January 1st, they get their birthday off with pay, so I think we've given quite a bit so far. Thank you.
Can I go now?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Give you one.
Six of spades. You have another one, Mike?
It was just a Tom Fryman, Unit 2. What kind of statement do you receive from voting online? I think it was just that he gets the email from the setup person and.
I'm not quite sure what he means by statement, but it's when it's like you set up any other account. You know, say I'm setting up an Amazon account. I log in and, then you get a confirmation email, hi, welcome to. You can put in username or you use your phone number, your email, whatever you choose. You set a password. Once you do that, typically you get something back saying, hi, welcome to, we'll say Amazon, for example, and then you have the account. With the voting, what you should see, and I believe this is correct if I'm wrong, but I believe, because we have the example, is that, you get a paper ballot. I'll use Tracy if you don't mind. Tracy, you get a paper ballot, you vote, okay. But when you see it on the computer, here's the ballot on the computer, and then you pick. I vote yes, I vote no, I vote for Mr. Smith, I miss Mrs. Jones. So I believe that is what you see when you vote online. No statement or anything, just instead of seeing a paper ballot, on the computer, there's your screen, and that's what you see, and you check yes, no, or whatever. So hopefully that clarifies his question.
Yeah, he did throw in report, but I'm wondering if he's thinking, does he get what he voted on? Does he get results? Like, this is how you voted.
You can print the page, I believe. It does give you the option.
Or is he questioning what you get as a report?
Okay. If I could answer that, too.
I use the system. It's very straightforward, and there's really no problem. We're creating problems here that don't exist when you do it online. Why more people don't use it, I don't understand, but it should be used more than it is. Because I never have a problem with it.
Okay.
And I've been using it for 3 or 4 years.
Seal the wire, therefore. I think very easily said, Tracy said it. You want to know if that vote counted, just go see if next to your name, your UDL number is checked off, because that's when they say that person has voted. That's the receipt, that's the statement.
Of course, Rich.
In the RV compound, Rich Brand, Unit 3. I'll make it very simple. I just had a car show here, and every participant with the car signed a disclaimer for insurance. Does the RV compound people do that? A disclaimer? We're all looking kind of like, what? Why? If something happens in there, due to the fact that somebody ran into somebody and they don't know who it is, who's gonna pay for that? Disclaimer is, they'll pay for it themselves with their own insurance. We don't, we cover ourselves here for the board. We don't pay for nothing out there. Every car that comes in here, they sign a waiver. That's a business. That's how you run a business. You cover every option you can cover, period. Okay? That's the way it's gotta be. So I'll find out from Gil if they're doing it.
Thank you. I know, Millie, you want to say something?
I'd like to. Between course.
Okay, Rich, to your is right, because I believe there should be some kind of notice or something on the front of that gate that you're responsible for your vehicle, whatever, we're not responsible for what happens in there. You have insurance, it should be covered. Okay, my thing is, and this is real easy, Crime Watch meeting, again, is going to be on Wednesday, November 1st at 9 in the morning. It's going to be probably in that back room because we are going to have a presentation from Sheriff Grove of the Hernando County Sheriff's Department that is going to do a presentation on scams and frauds. And there's a lot of that going around, especially with the seniors. I hate to say the seniors, but it is. They're more gullible than anybody else. A lot of them live alone. You know, the people coming to their doors, they don't even know who the truck is. But anyways, please spread this to your neighbors and your residents that, November 1st at 9 o'clock in the room behind us, because hopefully we'll have a good crowd. And we've already gotten Sheriff Grove to come here for that. Also, this has to do with the blood drive. I'm bringing this because I belong to the Marine Corps, just like Dick does, over here on Sunshine Grove Road. I'm the adjutant and also the senior vice of the Ladies Auxiliary. They're going to have a blood drive up there this Saturday. I just got the email before I got here. It's going to be Saturday from 6 at night to 10. And those that go up there and donate blood, there's going to be a $20 gift certificate given out. They're also going to give, this is their last weekend of their Halloween trail, so you're going to get a shirt. And also they do their wellness checkup. So this is a good thing. If anyone wants to go up there Saturday from 6 to 10, Sunshine Grove Road at the Marine Corps Detachment, more than willing to have you guys come up there. Just let your residents know when you're and your neighbors. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Does anybody else have anything? No? Okay, I guess we'll go ahead and adjourn this meeting. Thank you very much. We just wanted to kind of have a make-up meeting and just to make up for the technology problems that we had. So I'll adjourn it. It is 7:49, October 26th. Everybody have a great night. Thank you. And Michelle, I want those shoes.
I need a second.
Debbie, you need a second for your motion.
Sorry, second. All in favor? Aye, unanimous. I saw the shoes and I went right there.